All right, we should be.
That should be, yeah.
We're live right now. Just FYI.
Oh, cool.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna let the everybody hop on and all that stuff before we get started here, Tom.
Sure thing.
Go to Facebook. I'll share this post.
All right.
All right. Opened up. We're live right now. I don't want that to go through. All right. Well, I see we do have a few people on. If anybody, if you guys would, if you're on, put your name in the chat so we know you're here. Who's here? But we're gonna go through and do kind of like what we did last week, and do some plays, and then we'll kind of put the play up, see if it's a foul, if if we should throw our flag or not, what the flag would be, why, talk about our threshold and anything that has to do with going through those steps. So yeah, Tom, I think it went well last week. What do you think?
Yeah. I got a lot of good feedback, and if nobody else did, I got a lot out of it.
Right? Shane,
I need all the
I
help I
see
can
you.
get.
I know, and it's just fun to sit here and talk about stuff, the whys and why not, and go through kind of what everybody else sees. It's kind of fascinating to watch one play and see how many different angles and different opinions people have and what they can see and how we can. And then at the end of the day, we need to see how we can get us all to come and try to call similar stuff and have the similar verbiage when we call it and all that. So
I think that's the goal, not to hear the say, well, they didn't call that last week. Well, okay, but if we're hearing similar verbiage, then I think that helps alleviate that comment.
Similar verbiage and similar, threshold and similar, all of that I think just benefits all of us. So we don't hear those, well, why is this a foul this week? We did the same thing last week. Well, A, that's not always the truth. And B, as long as we can say the same thing, and by the time they get done and they're like, and then they go to Nate and they go to Sean and they're like, why is this? And they give them the same language we gave them on the field. Hopefully it'll drive it home to them, like, hey, maybe I need to look. Maybe they need to relook at it, whatever the case may be. So.
Yeah, that's the goal. That I think that's the definition of consistency. Just hearing the same verbiage and the same philosophy and threshold from multiple people.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I hear Sean talk a lot, right? And it's usually always the same stuff, and I can always say it the same way, and I can repeat it almost verbatim what he says about certain things, right? But when it comes down into the game, and I can turn to the coach, and it just comes off, second nature at that point, and you're like, oh shit, that is what I wanted to say. That did come off good. That did come off professional. That did come off, the exact answer we needed to give, type of thing. And it's like, there is something to hearing the same stuff over and over again. It's just like when we get in kind of to the heat of the battle, it'll just be second nature to us. And
that's
so
a valuable resource to have that that guidance, have that example that this is the language, this is the teaching point. Okay, now they're going to hear it more than once.
Yeah, more than once, and just So, Dustin, I see you. Thanks for joining, guys. If you guys have any questions or stuff like that, please post it in the chat. I'll try to be a little slower and give you guys some time to answer the question before we give our thoughts on it. But I guess let's go ahead and get this started here, Tom. So this first one, I believe we are looking at a potential low block, and I think it's right in this area. I think you got it marked up here pretty good. But I'll play it. I'll show the circle. I tried to delete your comments, Tom, just because. Oh, and then I show your comment. So we're looking at the action right here between 9 and this tackle. Yep, he's the tackle. So this D end and this tackle right here. So I'm going to play it in slow-mo. Boom. He kind of... Yeah. Tell me what's your thoughts when you saw this one, Tom, when you initially saw it.
Well, initially, it's when they get beat, they cheat. And is this guy, as the defensive end is even with him and getting by, does he go low and cut him illegally? There might even be a pull down there, or does he just lose his feet?
Yeah, I see what you see now, because initially in my brain, he loses his feet. But yeah, I mean, does he get beat? Do you think he does it on purpose? I think he slips. However, I'm seeing it in slow-mo for the fourth time. So, we got to be able to see that and make that judgment. And Tom, who do you think, or whose key is this initially right now at the beginning?
Referee.
So the referee should be looking right here.
Yeah, it should be looking at.
Okay, looking through here.
Yeah, and I try to pick the best matchup, or if I've got doubles or trips, to take a tackle on that side.
Okay.
But the referee's got, umpire's got guard, center guard, referee's got tackles.
Yeah.
As a key.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, if you guys have seen it enough, I can play it a few more times. But this one, I don't know if we need to spend too much time on this one. I think this one's pretty cut and dry to me. He looks like he just slips on that field, and he takes him down. But I think the important part about this is we got to be able to answer that, right?
Yeah.
So if you just look over and see somebody with down on the ground, he looks like he's cut back there, right there. He looks like he cut him. Like if you just saw that part. Well, if you're going to call this foul, let's make sure we see the foul all the way through and be able to give our answer. No, coach, he lost his feet. Yes, coach, he cut him illegally. Whatever the case may be, whatever it comes out of that. But just know on something like this to make sure to watch it all the way through and get more information. If you throw this flag, make sure you get, if I'm the umpire and I throw this flag for whatever reason, or if I'm the L and I throw this flag, I gotta make sure I talk to the R. Or if the R throws it, just talk to anybody else. Hey, did anybody see that all the way through? Does anybody have any other, it's not about, showing how good you are at it. It's about showing, getting the calls right and making it fair. So again, I think this one's pretty easy. He loses his feet. He doesn't cut him intentionally. And then, I think we just move on.
Yep. As long as we've got eyes on it and we've got an opinion, that's the main thing.
Yep. All right, let's go to the next play. Well, I'm going to actually, Tom, I'm going to pause, give it a second to make sure nobody has any questions on that. Let it catch up. I know the stream's usually probably 30 seconds, 45 seconds behind. So I think this one, Tom, is, before I start playing it, we'll just talk about it, is roughing the passer. And
potentially.
No, I'm sorry. Yes, the foul in question is roughing the is roughing the passer. Is it or is it not? Why or why not? So this one I'm going to try not to give my opinion, and I don't want you to give your opinion yet, Tom, because we've seen it a few times.
Yeah.
I really want to see what everybody has, what everybody has to say about this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and play it live, or I'll play it full speed, and then I'll go back and slow it down here.
Yeah.
Boom. Looks like slip. Yep, I agree, Shane. Yep. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Okay, we'll talk DPI on that too. Okay, so we're gonna start with this hit on the quarterback. So, boom. Give me your guys' opinion. So, Tom, when this is only wholeheartedly the R's spot, R's position.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Okay. Nobody else should be even looking here.
This was textbook protect the franchise.
Okay. Now, I do know who this white hat is. And I'm curious what his thoughts were. Maybe he'll grace us with his presence here in a little bit. Ball's gone, one step, boom, hit. Okay, so let's slow this down here. So ball's gone, step, hit, shoulder to, looks like shoulder to me or shoulder to chest. He doesn't fall on top of him. He doesn't intend to punish him. And he instantly looks over at the referee to see if he got the flag. I'm curious on everybody else's opinion. But what's your opinion on this, Tom?
The key thing for me on this is he doesn't wrap. If he's within that 2 steps and he wraps up, that's a tackle, and I'm fine with it. I think that's an attempt to punish.
I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, we do have to remember, I mean, football's a physical game. We do allow hits. We do allow legal hits, right? We want legal hits. We don't want guys getting targeted to the head. We don't want guys going low. We don't want anything of that nature. Stays high, could be roughing the passer, high hit from Sean. And he did grace us with his presence here. So I'm more on the side of this isn't roughing the passer. Was gonna say not a terrible hit. Yeah, Shane, I don't think it's a terrible hit either. I think it's shoulder to shoulder. He's heads away. He doesn't, I think opposite of what you said, Tom. If he wraps him up and takes him to the ground and essentially lands on him, I almost want that I want that to be called more. But the way he kind of hits him and then because he's already committed, there's no way he cannot let up there. I mean, as much as we think, he's running full speed, lowers his shoulder, doesn't hit helmet to helmet. I don't think goes high. He's in the chest, but you can't go low. He can't go to the head. I mean, that's about the he's in the strike zone, right? He doesn't.
What bothers me about it, like I said, he doesn't wrap, And if his hands are up trying to block the pass and he comes through him like that, okay. But he doesn't wrap, and it's a high hit. It just depends on, we talk about threshold. That's awfully close.
I agree, it's close, but I'm good with not throwing that one. We want to make. I mean, I'm all for protecting the quarterback. He's vulnerable. I'm all for stuff like that. I just think that is about as clean as you can get and expect a kid, with all the restrictions that he can't do. He can't hit him in the head. He can't hit him low. He can't, this and that. Like, that's pretty good at, if he would have wrapped him up and fell on him, he could have hurt him more doing that. So I think this kid does a really good job of trying to get off of, anything else he could have done. But that's just my opinion, I suppose. I guess that's why we do it.
Yeah. That's still, I'd be interested to see what anybody else thinks.
Yeah, please. And if you're watching this after the fact, please submit what you say. I believe you could sell this if you throw. You could sell it if you throw the flag. Oh, okay. So let's look at, Dustin, I'm not 100% sure exactly what you're referring to. But let's look at this. Pass interference was the other one, right, Tom?
Yeah, and then there's pass interference on the other end.
Or, I'm sorry, potential pass interference, right? So,
right.
Because I honestly, I looked at roughing the passer on this one and moved on. I didn't actually look at this one. So,
yeah, there's.
Oh, okay. Flag comes in, so we know that official's judgment. What is your guys' judgment? We're watching over here. Boom. I don't know.
Back in the old face guarding days, that's
face guarding. Yeah,
agreed. But we don't have face guarding anymore.
Face guarding is legal, right? So
it is.
I mean, is there contact? Did that? I mean, he's, we don't have the rule where he has to get his head around, but he can't make contact, right? So, I mean, how much contact was there? Autocorrect, sorry. Supposed to say throw the flag or keep it in your pocket. Oh yeah, sell it if you do throw it. Yeah. Dustin, I think it would be supported. Like, I think even what Sean said, it could be supported either way. On that roughing the passer call, kind of hard to see. I don't know. Might lay off this one. Yeah, Shane, I agree. This one, I mean, obviously this back judge has a way better angle than we do right here. But yeah, I mean, face guarding's legal. Does he touch him? Does he go back into him? Is that the reason he didn't catch the ball? Did he take a step away? Did it, it's all valid questions. I mean, what do you see on this film? I know, and this film's kind of tough on this one, Tom, but
yeah. I mean, however you call it or don't call it, I think it's really important to have the right language to explain it. We'd say, yeah, why is that pass interference? Early contact.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is it not? Well, Coach, I saw 4 hands in the air. I think you could. What it comes down to when you call it or don't call it is now how are we going to communicate it?
Yeah, and agreed. We can talk about whether it was or wasn't in the all day long, but at the end of the day, this back judge's judgment was defensive pass interference. So right there, okay. So let's talk. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I liked that. I didn't even watch all that. Okay, so tips on this one. Boom, boom. We have our judgment. Jordan Stewart. What's our threshold? We want to throw on that all night. As we always say, it looks ugly. Don't. Yeah, agreed, Jordan. It's what have we been calling all night? Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, Jordan, on there. We got to have consistency. I think.
Well, this is 9:45 of the first quarter, so we've just set the bar. Whatever,
right.
whatever.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. I didn't even look down there. So, let's talk about. Could be early contact. Yeah, I agree, Shane. He could be going early contact. Let's talk about his mechanics here. And again, I don't know who this guy is. I mean, I know that that's Sean, but boom, he calls incomplete. So the first thing you should do is move your flag if it's off. So if you need to pick it up, move it to the yard line, wherever it needs to be. Maybe he's right on. He comes in, boom, pass interference, defense, and he gives his preliminary. Now everybody knows what his judgment is, right? And then we go to enforcement. We go to marking it off, right? So we had 2nd down and 7 is about what I count. So 2nd and 7. So this is, correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, this should be 15 yards and results in a first down.
Right. Loose ball play is always previous spot, so it's 15 yards from the previous spot. It is not automatic, correct? I think that's what
is what I'm getting at.
What
Yes.
you need to have in your announcement.
Yes. So, and then also, what ball position do we go to?
Where do we snap it from?
So we snapped it from 1, and it's 15 yards from the previous spot. So we got to go back to position 1, mark off the 15, and it stays position 1. Seeing as it's not a spot foul, it's 15 yards from the previous spot. Make sure you know the lateral spot as well.
Yeah, previous spot is also the lateral spot. That's good.
Yep. So, okay. Let's move on.
So say we have both of those. Say we take them both. Now what do we have for important?
Okay. So we have roughing the passer on the defense, and we have defensive pass interference. So they're both 15 yards, but the important part about that is roughing the passer is one of our automatic first downs in high school. Yep. So we have to know that they can take one and decline one. Well, in that case, where it was 2nd and 7, either one of them gets them a first down. No problem. Doesn't matter which one you accept. Had they been behind the sticks, say they're back here at midfield, right? 15 yards doesn't result in a first down. We need to make sure we give them roughing the passer, had we called roughing the passer there, right, because they get an automatic first down.
Yep, that's the difference there. That's exactly right.
I mean, you enforce them essentially both the same way. They both go from the previous spot. We both go back to P1. We both go 15 yards. Just know, one's an automatic and one's not. If you had called that roughing the passer.
Yep. Right? If the situation calls for that more than 15, then you want to give them the one that gets them first down. Yep.
I like that. I'm going to pause a second and let it catch up here just a second. So yeah, that was a good one.
That's awful early in the game to be dealing with that stuff.
Yeah. This looks like it's like 2 plays later. Didn't we? Yeah, it's the next play. So what we have here, I think, is 2 different potential holds, right? So this one, I think I deleted your comments because I don't want to give anything away. So we're looking at this guy right here.
Yep.
And then we're looking at this guy, this action right here. Right? So again, we're looking at, we'll just play it a couple times, let you guys look at it. I don't know what this says. This says weird, so I'm going to delete it. Okay. Boom. Boom. Okay. So, important on this one. Okay? Let's talk about it. So, what I'm looking for from you guys to respond to me in the chat, please, is give me the first one. Hold or no hold, right here. And then give me a B, hold or no hold. And then give me C, is this a foul? So you can have holds, you can have penalties without throwing your flag, right? So tell me if you would throw your flag on this, why or why not is what I'm looking for. So again, give me first hold or first action, first hold or not hold. B, second hold, either yes or no. And then C, give me the do you throw your flag or not? And then if you do throw your flag, I want to know what the enforcement is. Does that make sense, Tom?
Absolutely.
So, again, first hold or first potential hold, second potential hold, flag or no flag. And then how do we enforce it if you do say you need a flag on here? And if you don't, tell me why. Mr. Stewart, I don't know where you went, but I'm expecting to see your answers. All right. Well, maybe people are typing it out. Maybe I should pause just a second. Longer. But Shane, yes. So Shane's opinion is this first one is a hold. B, no. C, not sure if I would because the play didn't go very far and it was dead right after the flag. Loss of yardage. Shane, that is a great point. I love your reasoning. Tommy said that he said he didn't know if he'd throw his flag or not because the play was dead right about where the flag would be, and it was at the loss of yardage. That is a great. I like where your head's at on that, Shane. That is exactly. All right, Joe says, I would say the first action is a hold. The second action wouldn't be. Ooh, what's wrong here? Stop. Let's see. Sorry, Joe. The second action wouldn't be a penalty because it did not prevent him from making the tackle. Okay. Mr. Stewart, fouls look like grab and restrict. B, no, defender got through and made the play. Okay. Dustin says A, hold, B, no hold and C, no flag thrown because it was made at the point of attack. Perfect. Okay. So, Tom, essentially, which kind of is good to know, The consensus is this one is a hold. This one is not a hold. And and to not throw the flag on this. Do you agree, disagree? What do you feel like, Tom?
I agree 100%, and I like the reasoning. You don't have to get a flag down right away when you see a grab and restrict. Now, if that runner pops out of there because of that grab and restrict, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But he lost, 2 yards on that? So I really would rather we didn't throw. The coach is helping down here with his arms up, but I would really be fine not throwing on that because the way it ended up.
Yep. And I think the important thing is on this to remember that a holding penalty, to have a penalty, right, they need to gain an advantage. The whole point of that holding penalty is that they gained more yardage because of it, right? So I think that first one definitely was a hold. I think everybody's in agreement on that. And I think that second one could have been a hold had he got the corner. Had that running back, for whatever reason, kept going to not cut it back up, he cut it right back into him. So had he not cut it back into him, I think he keeps going and gets that corner because of it. I think that could have been a holding penalty as well. I agree with everybody right there because he cut him right into it. He took him right into it. It's not. And I don't think we do not want your flag on this. So by philosophy, they didn't cheat big enough, right? They didn't gain an advantage. They still got sacked for a loss. And clearly they need to learn how to hold better to earn that penalty, right? Because and how we rephrase it how we phrase it to coaches, right, is by philosophy, we do not call a holding penalty on a 2-yard loss. An offensive holding penalty on a 2-yard loss. Had he broke it, we would get him, right? We saw it, but penalties on average, what I think Sean says, take 30 to 45 seconds to adjudicate. And so every time you throw a flag on something they're going to decline anyways, you're just slowing the game down for everybody. Right?
And again, the way you communicate, that coach, when he threw his hands up, I'm just pretty much guessing that he's helping out there. We're getting held. And so if this wing official doesn't call it, then he's probably going to be called upon to give an explanation. They lost yards, coach. It wouldn't.
Yeah. Yep. And I use those words like by philosophy, we don't throw holding penalties on, or on a loss of yardage. I'm not opposed to looking at him and just saying, Coach, they didn't cheat big enough. Your kid still made the play. It is what we can't slow the.
So let me ask you this, Zach. But by that same philosophy, do we ever have a hold on a double team?
No. By philosophy, I never throw. If the offense is giving up 2 people to block 1 guy, I would never throw. I move on from that. I move my eyes on that from that pretty quick, and never throw a holding on that. Minus a takedown. If both those guys, are just taking that guy to the ground for whatever reason, that'd be the only way I could see throwing a hold on a double team. That is my opinion. And I'll tell those players, because as the umpire in the middle of the field, I'll tell those players, hey, by philosophy, they're giving, or I'll just tell them, hey, they're giving up two guys to block you. You should be honored about that. Like, they think you're just a big enough bully here. And it is what it is. Move.
Yep.
I love how fast we see double teams, unless it's a takedown or chop block. Yep. Agreed, Shane. Yeah. I love how fast we see double teams. Okay, so this one, we have a point of emphasis from like last year or 2 years ago. Tom, you brought up a point about whether he gets set or not. I think he gets set.
Mhm.
I don't think it's. I don't think there's any.
I did too, but I want to know.
Yeah.
And again, what you're seeing, I couldn't find it, but what you're seeing is like you'll have a quarterback back in his shotgun or pistol or whatever. Guy comes in motion, goes under center, and takes a snap. That's the one. I couldn't find it, but it's very similar that we just have to make sure, because that's a shift. We have to make sure they're set.
Yep. So what Tom is saying here is when this quarterback comes up, moves from shotgun to center, that is classified as a shift. He needs to become set for 1 second to be able to snap that ball or to hike that ball, whatever, receive the snap, I guess. So just know whether, just know that that's a shift. So I think our question on this one is this or is this not aiding the runner? We see these scrums all the time. What do we say? Start screaming for aiding the runner. What are we looking for? Tom
and of course it doesn't help. Everybody on the offensive side is yelling, "Push him, push him, push him."
Right, because it's the tush push, right? From the NFL, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. Everybody wants to see the tush push, and I had a kid say it last Friday. Oh, let's do the tush push. And I said, oh, the tush push is illegal in high school. I said, actually, it's and he goes, what? And I said, yeah, man, you can't push the runner directly in the back like they do in the NFL. You have to push the pile. I said, so you can do a quarterback sneak where you push the pile. I think this one's relatively easy. Because you can see the quarterback the whole time. But I think the important one on this is just know where everybody's pushing to be able to answer that question. He's pushing the pile. He's pushing the guards next to him. He's not pushing the ball carrier because the name of the penalty is aiding the runner, not aiding the pile, right? So if he's aiding the runner, we need to know that. And if they're pushing the pile, we use those words as well. Great job.
Have any
Go ahead.
Have any of you guys called that? I'm looking far and wide for when that was ever been called. I'm sure it has sometime. Anybody ever flagged that?
I have.
Okay.
I have. It was a few years ago. The runner was running down the middle of the field, and his teammate was in front of him, pulling him that direction, like 2 hands on my ball carrier, just by the jersey, just yanking him down. I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay. Let's don't do that.
Yeah, let's not do that. All right, moving on. This next one is on the kicker. So let's watch the action with the kicker, the punter. Boom. Do we think that was... let's just watch it a few times. Boom. Perfect.
It's an ugly result.
I don't think it's nearly as ugly as you think. I understand that with them on the ground, I I do think
Absolutely.
that yeah, I would like to know your guys' opinion whether you think that this is a foul, b if if he needs to sign up for drama club.
That's one of those soccer things, isn't it?
Looks like a really
Where you
delayed
get
action.
touched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Shane, this dude is 1,000% selling this. He is trying to sell the shit out of this, and it is just so. A couple things.
Whitehead is not having it. I don't know who that is, but he just nope.
Future in Hollywood, 100%, Jordan. Um, so a couple things we can say. Well, why is Black on the ground there? Okay. Well, he's on the ground there. He hit him, right? Well, how did Black get there? Right? Know that we need to know that Black was drama letterhead is headed his way, 100%. But we do need to know how Black got there. I think that's the point of this. Is that the Black player right there was taken and thrown down by White, number 18 Black there. Just gets chucked back into that punter. And I don't know, Tom. I mean, look at the way number 3 reacts to this too. I'm gonna guess this isn't the first time they've done this. I don't mean to speculate on what's happening, but it's a little weird that White turns back. He looks exactly where the punter is, and then takes his guy and throws him in there. And then the guy tries to sell it, and then he's pointing at him. I smell a conspiracy, if I could speak. Jesus, that is. But the way we need to back to our first initial point, the consistency of the way we need to communicate that is no, the Black player was thrown by the White player down to the ground. He didn't go after the punter there, and your punter simply flopped. I mean, the basketball season's in a few months, or in a few weeks, actually. Just wait for that, buddy. Like, get out of here with that. But no, that is, I mean, we want to know why. I mean, they're both wanting to know why. They both tried for it. They knew they were doing. Yeah.
Well, and that kind of falls into the category of a cheap turnover. I mean, if we throw on this, we've given the punting team a first down. That's automatic, which is the same as a turnover, because now Black, who's affected a defensive stop, doesn't have the ball. So that would be you could say that's a cheap turnover that we want to avoid.
Yep. And so we do want to know. If you do, and that's a good point to know that if you do have roughing the passer on this, or roughing the kicker on this, roughing the punter, it is 15 yards, which in this case wouldn't result in a first down. However, that's one of our 3 or 4 automatics. That's one of our 4 automatics. First downs in high school sports or high school football.
Yep.
Drama. Tom, I'm going to pause for 3 seconds to run to the restroom, and I'll be right back.
Sounds like a plan. I will be right here too.
Okay, Tom.
All right.
You good?
Yep. We are good.
All right. So this one, I think we're gonna look at a couple different things here in the middle. Let's play it. Let's just play it through and then that way you guys can make an opinion on if you see something. Other than the arrow.
You can get rid of that.
Okay, perfect. Let's play it again. Slow. Well, let's speed it up here just a little bit. Slow mo this time. Okay. Boom. Okay. Now, opinions on if we think what this could be. Do we see blindside block? Do we see block in the back? Are there any holdings? Because this umpire does a good job with his flag toss. He does a good job of continuing to officiate, and then he does a good job of killing the clock right away. I think that is great mechanics there. I'm just not 100% sure what he called here.
I'm not sure what foul is. Blocking the back at the bottom, maybe.
Okay. Did he throw? I don't know, Jordan. Part of me. I don't know. I don't know what he did. But it doesn't really matter what he threw. I want to know if we see anything and what we should see. So, do we see this? That is a good question, Jordan. Did he throw for blindside block? That was my initial thought of what he was throwing at. So, is this action enough for blindside block? So, as we know, for blindside block, we don't need a necessarily hard hit. We just need to hit outside the vision of our defenseless player there, or our opposite team here. I could see why that looks like a blindside block. However,
you took him down.
Yeah, let's get the easy one out of the way. This is not a block in the back in any way, shape, or form. He hits him
Starts in front.
Right there. He hits him right on the side. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, he never touches him in the back. Maybe an elbow crosses it. But that is not a block in the back. Please don't call that a block in the back. Now, let's talk blindside block, because I think this has got to be the only thing he can call there. And, again, football is a physical sport. It is a collision sport. We just need legal collisions. And in my judgment, this is a legal hit. I don't think 70 shoves him into that hit. You know what I mean? He doesn't project him in there. I think he lined up, from the snap. Yeah, Jordan. He knows exactly where he's going. Like, he knows what he's looking for, and that kid ducks his head in the white. He goes looking for it. Yeah, Jordan. You mean the guy in the white goes looking for it? I agree, Shane. I think he sees it 100%, Jordan. He goes up. He knows exactly that it's going to be to cut. His job is to block that backside flow, right? And I just think he does it legally. I mean, doesn't make it a foul though. Yes, correct. I think he does it legally. I mean, the white player I think sees him coming. He's looking right at the ball. He's right in line with it. I think that is just a clean, hard hit by 59.
Agreed. '59's almost waiting for him rather than hunting like a side block, or you're hunting for the guy. 59 kind of turns and waits for him.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tom. Like that's his job. He's sitting there waiting for him to come back. Yep. He knows he's coming. I mean, how many times have they ran? They've had to run that thousands of times at this point. He knows that's coming, and the linebacker knew it was coming too, and it's just a hit. I think it was a good clean hit. So
okay.
That's a good one to know, though. Like, why wasn't, that's part of the verbiage we need. Why wasn't it a blindside block? Well, I think the defender crouched and protected himself and to prepare for that hit. So, all right. Well, let's move on to this next one. Nope, we're skipping this one.
That's one of my favorites.
All right. What in the world do we have here? Oh, block in the back is the potential foul. We are watching. I don't like this one. Give me my free range. We're watching all of this action right here, my friends. So I'm going to let it go. Tell me if we see anything. Oh, well, dang it. Again, watching here, I'm going to back it up and just play at full speed. So what are our, and we already saw it on your bubble, but when should our antennas go up? Our antennas, or where should we be looking, right? We're looking here. He's looking at the ball, right? And then our umpire is down this way. And where's our H? I just don't see him. Oh, he's right there. So he should be out here as well. Nothing's going on, and our R's got all of this, right? That makes sense, Tom?
Yeah, that's perfect.
So he should be here. Chase mode for sure. Yes, Shane, that is my point here. Our antennas should go up right here because all of these white players are in chase mode. Boop, boop. Like, something's happening. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So our first back judge is on the returner. Yep. Yeah. Returner. I might have said ball, but yeah, returner. So the first one we get is right here, and he clearly goes from the side, doesn't really do anything. So the only one that actually makes contact worth watching is right down in there, and that was a horrendous circle, don't mind me. Does he do anything to cause that? And I don't think so. I'm just gonna lay it out right there. I don't think anything happens right there that causes that runner to gain an advantage. Nobody was blocked illegally. He comes in, he kind of just pats him from the side and gets a big return. Might return it. Oh. Okay. I think the better question on this play is let's look at this tackle. Runner's right here. Okay. Give me let me finish this back here. Give me an answer if you guys just give me a yes or no in the chat if you think that any of those classify as a blind side or as a block in the back. I'm going to pause just 1 second and then we'll go to that tackle.
I think the threshold of blocking the back on a wide play like that is a lot lower than normal because it doesn't take much to get that runner around the corner.
Absolutely.
You might say it barely changes his direction. It's right at the point of attack. And then the question becomes, is that enough? Is that little push? Does that get this guy around the corner and he makes a big return?
Agreed. Yeah. That is a great point because it doesn't need to be a big devastating hit to be blocking the back. He can just push, just a little push can go a long way when that returner's running the opposite direction. And so, yeah. Only question is block in 3 headed towards 30. I'm going to find out what you're talking about, Jordan. I don't even see these numbers. I don't know how you can see these numbers. Oh, at the 30. Haha. Okay. Not number 30. Okay.
Starts at the 30.
Headed towards the 30. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about, Jordan. Oh, like right in there? But block is 3 in white headed towards the 30. I'm not sure, Jordan. I'll get back to you. All right. And that is clean. Okay, we're good. Okay, let's talk about this tackle. Is this a foul or is it not? Why or why not? Ooh. That makes me. I'm giving away my opinion, but that makes me cringe. Ooh. That. Oh, shoot. All right. We have. Well, do I. Yeah, I think his left hand, for anybody who can't see it as well as I can on my screen, it does look like that left hand is up in that nameplate area. So, yeah, Tom, that tackle. What's your opinion on that tackle?
That looks like it meets the criteria of a horse collar. The way the kid goes backwards, the knee buckle.
Yep. And what are our criterias?
It's got to be the nameplate area. It's got to take him backward directly. There can't be like a pause or a double action involved. It's got to be that grab has got to take him down and take him back immediately.
Or back or sidewards, right? I believe is exactly how it says. So it's.
I think you're right.
I think it is in the. It is in the shoulder pad or nameplate area. So if he's inside the pad, not just like on top of the shoulder pad, but like inside the collar of that shoulder pad or the jersey nameplate area, and he pulls him backwards or sidewards. And what we're looking for is the knee buckle, right? Look at the way that kid, those kids knee buckle, and he goes sideward. The player in white goes sidewards. I think that meets all criteria of a horse collar tackle. If anybody disagrees with me, let me know. But I think that is, and you can tell by the way, and this is why we, why horse collar tackles are in there to get him out of the game, is because that looks so bad. That kid's hurt.
So, Zach, go on that play, the previous one.
Yep.
Say that both of those were fouls. Okay, we've got a block in the back on White. We've got a horse collar on Green. How we get enforced that?
Which one are you calling?
So we got block in the back here.
Okay. No, I
block back at the 20.
At the 20. So it's.
So that's a block in the back. We're going to say that got him loose.
No, yeah, that's fine. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm asking is, that's during the return. That makes a difference, right? During the return.
That's what.
We have block in the back on White.
Mm-hmm.
And then during the return, personal foul, horse collar tackle, Green. So we have 2 fouls, one by either team.
On a change of possession.
Okay. So what changes the enforcement on the change of possession?
Well, that'd be a clean hands play, right? White got the ball with clean hands, and then they fouled. And then Green fouls on the horse collar.
Okay. So do we have to go back to the spot of the block in the back, enforce that, and then enforce the horse collar?
Well, there's some choices here. If White wants to keep the ball, yes. They've got to decline the horse collar, and we're going to enforce the block in the back. If White does not decline the horse collar, then those offset, and we're going to punt all over again.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's the dreaded clean hands play.
So to keep the ball, they have to say this was block in the back here at the 20.
Yep.
Boom, where we have our flag right there. So to keep the ball on this punt, they would decline the horse collar penalty. The ball would come back to the spot of the foul. Oh,
right.
No. So he grabs it, and the foul occurs in front of the. Nope. Never mind. I'm ahead of myself. So we would go from the 20, 10 yards, right? Half the distance. So you're going to have 1st and 10 from the 10.
Yep. What's everybody agree with that? Disagree?
Dear Lord, accept that penalty and make a free kick.
Well, White's got some choices. I mean, they're not going to be happy they lose all that yardage, but that's the only way they can keep the ball. Or if they want to try their luck again, we're going to offset those and play the down over.
Yeah, and it sucks because now their returner's hurt. So
that's where we need to group up, make sure everybody's on the same page. And it's probably take a little more time than normal explaining that to coaches.
Yeah,
because they are not going to. They are going to have their own particular spin on what should happen or shouldn't happen.
Yep, definitely. Yep. All right, let's look at this one. I don't know if I made it this far. Okay. So, is this a hold out here on this? Okay, so White's on offense. White goes out. Boom. Couple things. Why I wait to hear your guys' opinion. Couple things. A, this flag came out way too fast. He breaks off and makes that tackle. We don't want that, right?
Correct.
Second mechanic, he finishes the play. Boom, great. Third thing is, you already know.
Yep.
You already know it's not a touchdown, right?
That is a great point.
Let's not signal touchdown on that. Let's just kill the clock. Is the only signal you should give on that. Kill the clock. And boom, kill the clock. Kill the clock. The first mechanic is not to go to your radio. Grab and restrict, take down at the point of attack. 100%, Dustin. The first mechanic should not be to go to your radio. You double check to make sure there's no other flags around, no other flags on, and then give your preliminary. He's almost... I don't know who this guy is, but I don't mean to pick on him. But he's already got his hand on his flag right now. Like, he's already determined he's throwing that. We need to be slower. Right? So, move our flag if we need to. In this case, it's going back to the previous spot. No, it's not, is it? It's going from the spot of the foul. So the spot of the foul is...
It's ahead of the box, so it's the spot of the foul.
Boom. Where does that occur? So the hold takes place at about the 4, the 5, maybe. I could see you selling the 5. Your flag lands at the 6. So it is important to go pick up your flag and move it. Give a signal. Boom. We stop the clock. Nobody else has got. Go ahead and go move your flag. And then give the preliminary. And then that way when your umpire looks at you and goes, is that spot good with your flag? He can start moving and doing what he needs to and go from there. So I don't think there's any doubt about that was the correct call. Just slow down a little bit. Don't signal touchdown, and then move your flag if you need to. Give a preliminary. Our radios are not there to use as a mechanic. So I don't know what's happening here, Tom. Legal block pass complete. Okay, so we need a... Okay, so we do get a signal. So I think what your question is on this one is just know to where these people are blocking, right? Is that what you're trying to say here, Tom? Know when and where they're blocking and where the ball is.
If that's a pass behind the line, they're fine blocking ahead like that. If it's not, if it's a forward pass when it crosses the line, then that's OPI. That's a pick play.
And when does offensive pass interference start, Tom?
Restrictions for offensive pass interference start at the snap.
Start at the snap, my friend. Start at the snap. Immediately. So, I do think we get a immediate judgment from our H over here. He's telling us it's behind. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He's telling us it's a backwards pass. Right?
Looks like he's punching that as a backward pass.
Yeah. So if it was a backwards
which I
pass,
believe it.
That's fine. That means that should tell us it's behind the line of scrimmage then, because it was immediate, right? Possibly. So just communicate that, make that all the everything we need to know, and all that. So if anybody has any questions, please post them up. I think that's all we have, or all we're gonna do for today. If you guys like these, please continue to hit the like button, subscribe, reach out to us, say you like them. If you get weird plays or even, marginal plays that you're curious if you should have called a hold, should have called a chop, whatever the case may be, please send them over to us. We'd love to take a look. We love to pass it on and not embarrass anybody. We love to just continue to educate and use the same verbiage throughout all of our officials, so that way we can get the consistency that we're looking for in all of this. So again, thanks for everybody for joining us. Thank you, Tom, for finding the plays, sitting in with me, chatting with me, talking it through. I think we had good discussions on a lot of this stuff. And hopefully everybody has a good Friday night, good Saturdays, good Sundays with all your youth games. Get signed up. If you're not, reach out to Sean Johnston or at, what's the email again? PSOA or Premier Sports Officials?
I'd have to look.
Gosh, dang it.
Sean's got his email.
Yeah, comment on this post and we can email you the information you need. But again, thanks everybody for joining. And if you continue to like these and we want to do more of them, we'll be back next week.
Thanks, guys. Good luck this weekend.